Hey, Lions Nation! We're back with another exclusive video bringing you all the latest news about our beloved Detroit Lions. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss anything about the team. Now, let's get into the news. The moment the Lions stepped onto the field, you could feel it. That quiet confidence, the kind that says, we're about to take over. And it didn't take long for them to back that up. Second down, Goff under pressure, blitz incoming. No panic. He dumps it off to the right. Jahmyr Gibbs grabs it in stride, breaks a tackle at the 35, and he's gone. Speed. Pure speed. He rips up the sideline, hits midfield, and suddenly the Bucs defense is scrambling just to keep him in bounds. Brought down near the 36-yard line, but the energy? Completely shifted. Next play, Goff works the clock like a veteran. 5 seconds left, ball snapped. He stands tall, fires a strike over the middle, and it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Catches it clean, untouched, and it's nothing but green grass ahead. 10-5, touchdown. 27 yards, and just like that, the Lions put 6 on the board with style. What's scary? They weren't close to done. Goff kept carving them up. Another snap, time in the pocket, eyes downfield. He finds Amon-Ra again, this time on the left side, slipping into Buccaneers territory. He's pushed out at the 41, but the damage is already done. Goff and his receivers are cooking. Baker Mayfield tried to respond for Tampa Bay, but Detroit's defense wasn't having any of it. Third down, Mayfield drops back, goes to pump, but it's tipped. Allen McNeil gets a big hand on it, sends the ball floating harmlessly to the turf. The Lions force the punt. Offense hot, defense locked in. That's the formula. Then came the highlight of the night. Goff turns, hands it to Gibbs again, and what happens next is pure fireworks. He hits the edge and just takes off. There's not a soul on that field who can catch him. 78 yards. Untouched. Untouchable. That's a house call. Touchdown Lions. Crowds roaring, sidelines erupting. Detroit doubles the lead and puts their foot on the gas. Mayfield comes back in, trying to salvage something, but Detroit's front seven is relentless. He steps up, tries to roll left, not fast enough. Derek Barnes flies in, grabs him, and drags him down behind the 35-yard line. Sack. Another one. The Lions' pressure is suffocating. It gets worse for the Bucs. Mayfield drops back, blitz closing in. He fires one over the middle. It's caught. But wait, ball's loose. It hits the turf and chaos breaks out. Lions players diving, bodies everywhere. When the dust settles, it's Aiden Hutchinson who comes up with it. Another turnover. Detroit's defense just keeps delivering. And this wasn't luck. It was textbook execution. Robertson, beat initially on the route, never gives up on the play. He tracks the receiver, waits for the right moment, and delivers a clean, hard punch to knock the ball loose. That's high-level defensive awareness. That's the kind of play that shifts momentum permanently. Goff gets the ball back, and once again he finds Gibbs. With blockers in front, Gibbs weaves through the defense like it's a maze. 30, 25, 20, cuts back at the 15, slips another defender, finally brought down at the 5-yard line. He's not just fast. He's smart, shifty, and explosive. And of course, they finish what they start. Goff hands it off once more. Gibbs keeps the legs moving, spins off contact, and dives into the end zone. Touchdown number 2 for him. The crowd's eating it up. That's the kind of drive that drains a defense and demoralizes a team. Then, just to add insult to injury, the Lions line up for a deep field goal. Jake Bates steps up from 58 yards. The snap is good, the hold is perfect, and the kick just sneaks over the bar. It's good. That one was all leg. Add 3 more to the total. Detroit now up by 15. Tampa's last gasp came on a 4th down deep in Detroit territory. Mayfield drops back, throws to the corner, denied. Nick Whiteside with the lockdown coverage, swats it away like it's nothing. Ball game. Any hope the Bucs had? Gone. What Detroit did out there wasn't just winning. It was complete domination. Offense clicking, defense flying around, special teams sealing the deal. This wasn't just another Sunday. It was a loud, clear message to the league. The Lions are not just contenders. They're coming for everything. Before we move on, take a second to drop a like and subscribe. That way, you'll stay up to date with every exclusive Lions update, and you'll even have a chance to win an official Detroit Lions jersey. Let's keep going. Detroit fans held their collective breath as the rumors turned into reports. Sources claim Detroit offered a package too rich to ignore: draft picks, cap space, promises of a revitalized offensive front. When Humphrey inked an agreement to join the Lions, the locker room reaction was instant. An air of inevitability, of ambition. Then came the announcement. Wirfs would follow, signing a contract to shift his status from standout in Tampa Bay to cornerstone in Detroit. The Lions were not simply assembling talent. They were declaring war on mediocrity. On the field, the implications were seismic. With Humphrey at center, the Lions would gain a leader who understands the trenches, who calls protections, who anchors both the run and pass game. His presence would elevate the interior line, freeing up running backs to hit holes, quarterbacks to step into throws, and the team's offense to operate at a higher gear. Meanwhile, Wirfs, flanking the line at tackle, would provide the bookend dominance every championship-aspiring team craves. He's the kind of player who shuts down edge rushers, creates lanes, and brings a nastiness that sets the tone. Imagine the first practice. Humphrey barking adjustments at the line of scrimmage, Wirfs firing off the line with power, the two of them locking in. The media coverage would highlight the historic nature of the duo, one of the most accomplished center-tackle combos the league has seen, both still in their prime, both hungry. Analysts would talk about how Detroit's offense just laid in wait, and now the explosion window opens. Of course, the story doesn't end there. The drama behind the scenes fuels the narrative. Detroit's front office, realizing that to compete at the highest level they had to invest in the trenches, pulled every lever. They convinced Humphrey to leave Kansas City, where he won Super Bowls and earned a large contract. They wrestled with cap implications, contractual logistics, but the vision was clear: build the foundation. Then they reached out to Wirfs, dangling the idea of being the pillar of a fresh era in Detroit rather than simply a gear in Tampa's machine. Fans began reliving the Lions of old, those who built around dominant linemen, dreaming of a rebirth. Social media feeds filled with memes of Humphrey and Wirfs stepping onto Ford Field, Lions helmets, roaring crowds, historic duo banners unfurling. Local media ran stories of how this pair might change the franchise's trajectory, not just wins, but identity. Suddenly, the talk wasn't just about individual acquisitions, but about systemic transformation. Critics had skepticism, of course. Could the Lions mesh two marquee linemen and build cohesion? What about scheme fit, injury risk, chemistry? But Detroit's decision-makers countered. This isn't about short-term splash. It's about long-term architecture. If you're going to aim for contention, you protect your quarterback and you establish dominance where the games are won, in the trenches. And the timing felt perfect. With the Lions' offense already showing flashes, adding Humphrey and Wirfs signaled intent. We're not waiting. We're accelerating. The message to the rest of the league was loud. Detroit is serious. Not just about making the playoffs, but about winning deep in January and beyond. With both Humphrey and Wirfs in place, the Lions would field an offensive front capable of sustaining power runs, protecting under pressure, opening time and space for playmakers. The ripple effect would extend to every position. Running backs seeing creases, tight ends getting cleaner windows, receivers getting more time in their routes. Tomorrow's preview might feature a snap-by-snap breakdown. Humphrey's inside calls, sliding protection, his ability to reach, block, and anchor stalwartly. Wirfs' kick slide, run-blocking strength, his capacity to wall off elite edge rushers. The highlight reels alone would be awe-inspiring. Humphrey flattening a defensive tackle on 3rd and short. Wirfs pancake blocking a blitzing linebacker to spring a back to daylight. And that's the art of an offensive line built to win. This isn't just a gamble, it's a blueprint. Detroit is channeling the model of dominant teams who build from the inside out. The old adage, games are won at the line of scrimmage, is resuscitated here. With Creed Humphrey and Tristan Wirfs operating in tandem, the Lions' offensive line is not an afterthought. It becomes a weapon. Every snap, every drive, every moment in between, those two names would be mentioned when the film is studied, when schemes are drawn, when opponents dread the alignment on the field. There's poetry in it too. Humphrey, coming from Oklahoma, polished in Kansas City, now bringing his craft to Detroit. Wirfs, a Midwestern powerhouse from Iowa, forging his legacy, choosing to shift gears for an entirely new chapter. Together, in the Lions uniform, they symbolize the franchise's upward trajectory. It's not just about adding pieces. It's about statement signings, about culture reset, about rewriting expectations. And as the season approaches, the narrative would build. Preseason snaps, cooperation between Humphrey and Wirfs, chemistry blossoming, the offensive line improving week by week. Analysts would track push rates, protection wins, gashes created. Social commentary would buzz about how Detroit's back seven suddenly had more room, how the quarterback felt less urgency, how the run game regenerated. Detroit phones would ring off the hook with season ticket interest, merchandise sales would spike, the Lions' fandom would ignite. On game day, the sight of Creed Humphrey snapping the ball, Tristan Wirfs poised at tackle, the Lions' offense lining up, that image alone would carry gravitas. The opponent's defensive players would know, you're on the wrong side of momentum before the snap even happens. The roar of the crowd, the solidity of the interior pocket, the explosion of the run game, all pointing to one truth. Detroit's decision to secure this duo was historic. If all goes according to plan, this pairing will be remembered not just for its individual star power, but for what it symbolized, a franchise investing in foundation, choosing lines of scrimmage over big splash wide receivers, choosing durability over glam, choosing dominance over hype. The Lions didn't just hire two linemen. They drafted a narrative. We are built to win in the trenches. We won't be pushed around. We won't settle for mediocrity. A year from now, commentators may glance back and say, that moment when Detroit confirmed Humphrey and Wirfs, that was the turning point. The day the Lions shifted from hopeful to credible, from contenders to threats. And as the crowd stands for the anthem, as the ball is snapped, as the blocks are made and the back bursts through the gap, every opponent will sense it. You're about to run into a wall, and behind that wall sit Creed Humphrey and Tristan Wirfs. Historic duo. Confirmed. We bring you the latest Lions news every single day. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And of course, drop a comment below with your thoughts on today's news. Your voice makes a difference for Lions Nation. See you in the next video.